You driving?
Some Plan Bs are smarter than others. If you're drinking, don't drive. RBT means you need a Plan B. Authorised by New South Wales Government, Sydney.
So Steve, it's been a pretty interesting day here today.
Yeah, it's been pretty full on, towners. I guess as much as you can get told or get warned about the dangers of speeding, seeing it firsthand and seeing the potential of even being 5 kilometres over the speed limit, the risk or chance of having a trauma or even death increases exponentially. But to see it firsthand today has been, pretty full on, I think.
And when you actually were preparing to see that car come up and crash, I mean, that impact, it's something that makes you really think about your own driving skills.
100%. It's something that we're trying to enforce, is having that plan B, particularly if you're going out and having a few drinks. And I guess, as I said before, it translates even further. When you see here a car going at 60 kilometres an hour and, drinking impairs your judgment, albeit by only a little bit, if that's the end result of what can happen, it's certainly making guys certainly think and wake up to themselves who are going to put themselves in those positions.
Man. Wow. Bloody hell. Wow. Welcome to hunting. That's solid.
Again, we're privileged to have this sponsorship by Transport for New South Wales. You could look at other teams that are sponsored by beer companies and they wouldn't get to see the sort of reality or get the educational advice or the tools like this to come out and see. And one of the things that we're stressing now is that plan B. And being cricketers and sportsmen and knowing that having a beer is, it's in part of the culture for cricket. It's now so much more important that you have that plan B. At times we're fortunate we can get cabs, but I know even the guys are in exploring different opportunities now. If we go out as a team, we'll make sure we get a minibus. If one of the boys isn't drinking, we'll make sure they've got the keys to the van. And it's pretty simple in nature to have a plan B, but it's all about making that conscious effort and decision. And fortunately enough, as I said, being sponsored by Transport for New South Wales, we're open to advice and educational tools, and we're certainly implementing them with the SpeedBlitz Blues.
And just finally, I know there's rumours you hurt your hand, you caught it in the car door, but you're recovering from an injury. How's that coming along?
Yeah, it's good. I was actually in the back seat there with Kelvin, the crash dummy, but hands coming along very well. I was under the safe guidance of Doug Ween, who looks after a few cricketers' hands, and hopefully in a couple of weeks to be back to normal and showering, because it's been about 8 days since I've had a shower. But yeah, it's fresh towners.
All right, Saki, thanks very much, and thanks for your time today. So Copes, we came here today, probably didn't know what to expect, but when you get to see something like we just have, it's a pretty unique experience.
Yeah, very confronting. We've sort of seen a few of the cars that have been tested before today and looking at 5-star NCAP rating cars, and then we saw a 1-star car that was pretty banged up, and that was only travelling at 60 k's an hour. So one of those things where you hear about it and you see it on TV, but until you sort of really research it and get out here and have a look, you don't realise the damage that you can do. So we're very fortunate to be in this position, and hopefully we can pass that message on to others, how important it is to check that NCAP rating and get on the web and look at the research that these guys do, because it's so important. All of us here now, we've been on our phones checking on the web at our NCAP rating on our own cars. It's something that I suppose people aren't aware of as much as they should be. Particularly parents buying cars for young drivers, and potentially their first car that they drive in when they're inexperienced on the roads. It's quite often more important that maybe the parents drive that car and the kids drive the safer car. So that's something that's really been brought to the fore today.
Out of interest, what was the first car that you bought?
I was a Holden Sigma that I didn't even fit in because I was too tall. We bought it off a family member, and I got in it that first day when I thought, yes, I'm going to pick my car up, and then I couldn't fit in it, so we had to sell it back to him. So it wasn't a great experience, but I'm very fortunate these days. I drive around in a nice car, and my wife's got a nice SUV as well, so hopefully they've got good NCAP ratings.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. And just a little bit on your cricket, you're now heading off to North Ants, play some county cricket for the first time. that's going to be a pretty interesting and exciting experience to go over and play in those English conditions.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've got the semis and the grand final hopefully for St George first, and then that's finishing off what's been, I think, a good back end of the season for New South Wales cricket, and hopefully myself personally. And then, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the opportunity and the experience over there in English conditions, and get on the ground and hopefully help them get up to Division 1, or at least kickstart their season, and hopefully take some wickets and build on my batting that's improved a little bit this year, and I think I'll come back a better cricketer, no doubt.